world is run today by who? Which of the majority of the sexes? Men. Yes, we are men, and there's something in us. There's that fallen nature in us that don't even want us to repent, to admit. It's deep in the man. The same way he abdicated his responsibility in the Garden of Eden. Didn't protect his wife Eve. Didn't love her the way God loved him. Didn't do enough. Made her vulnerable so that Satan could invade. Man have been trying to force love on the world, and till today we've not learned that we cannot force our way into anybody's heart. God has been looking for that wonderful side. You remember the story of the Garden of Eden? Somebody give me a summary of that story of the creation of man and woman. Anybody? A summary of Genesis, the creation of man, humanity. Who was created first? The man was created, so-called Adama or Adam, human being, man. They call Adam now because of subject, it becomes man. But the human was created as an androgynous being, something like that. Meaning a being that has negative and positive inside. Then God goes in. Yes, that's why we always say man stands as subject, because he came as subject God. But then, what was the last thing God created? Woman. We hear now, we begin to find out that when you read the old early scriptures, that it is really after the fall of man, God was really fully in search of Eve. Because Eve represented that final part of God that God revealed to human beings. So when we go through the process of the fall, we know man fell. And as I've said, it's partly because of man. That's why we must take responsibility as the subject. If something happens to this household, if we lose this household, it's not going to be on my wife. It's going to be, yeah, she may say, oh, no, it's us. No. But as a man, I'm going to take the responsibility. I'm not going to say, no, my wife. No. I have to take the responsibility. So what happened in paradise was Adam's fault, number one. But Adam still did not take responsibility. So after the fall, we learn in the principle that God has been working the reverse way to bring us back. Right? Been working to bring us back. What did we see 2,000 years ago? We saw the providence move through all the many different central figures from Abraham, up here, until then it arrived at Jesus. And Jesus is the second what? Adam. The second Adam needed what? Needed? Did she appear? Do we know about any second Eve? No. So, we go back to creation now. Creation started with this combination that Mother has given us a motto very beautifully to follow. It says, let us practice true love in resemblance to who? To God, our heavenly parent. And our heavenly parent consists of female and male, right? So, in the beginning, man and woman are supposed to be that great example of what true love is about, right? Finally, God starts the process of creation. He redeems all things. He brings man through Jesus as a male. He is redeemed. Unfortunately, the providence is delayed because Eve did not appear at that time. So a true substantial, listen to this, a true substantial manifestation of God's love on earth could not be. Hence we had what we call, what's that word? Spiritual, what? Salvation. So the Bible tells us the earth is groaning, men, sons and daughters of God are still groaning, waiting for the transformation of their body, the redemption of their body. So this did not happen. So the fulfillment of the providence of restoration could not conclude successfully under Jesus' messiahship. And hence Jesus said he must come back again. And hence we know, as we believe through the divine principle, the conclusion that we are living in the age of the second coming. So what is the final conclusion of the providence? From just the small logical clarity. Who else would God be looking for if he found Eve during Jesus' time? Because God did not find Eve, but Jesus did not find Eve, we hear the providence continue, right? Still. So if he had found Eve, then what would be the next logical step?
True parents, becoming true parents.
True parents?
True family.
True family becomes the next logical step. And this is where we are. We have come to believe without a shadow of a doubt that the capstone, you know the capstone on the pyramid? Without this capstone, it's not really a pyramid. Without second Eve appearing, there is no what? True parents. Do we get that? Is that simple enough, right? Or is there a struggle with that? I want to hear from you. Is this a violating the principle, or is it in line with the principle? Does she have an equivalent value to this, to Jesus? She should. Because without her, again, no fulfillment of the true parent's providence. This should not take, unless somebody's emotion has been hijacked by Satan, unless especially men, listen to these brothers. If there's a devil in you, if there's a devil in each one of us men, who again don't want us to really recognize Eve, our true object partners, who don't want us to really elevate Eve. The history of humanity says it clearly. Look at the church. Oh, women should not speak. They should hide behind their husband. Look at the history, how we've treated women. And we wonder why the world is going this way. So true brothers, I'm sharing this with you because God has worked for me and with those of us who are willing to be humble, to repent and say we haven't done a great job. I'm not looking at my other leaders, I'm looking at myself. If I do a good job, my wife will be elevated. She will be proud, she will be a victor. We will work well together, and prayerfully our community, wherever we are, will be able to bring that parental heart. But if we don't recognize the value of Eve, of our mothers in particular, as we said the last time, that's where it starts. That means we don't value God, because in God there is a female, the most powerful aspect of God that He revealed after He had created everything, the most treasured.